about the Celtics settling down and locking down defensively?
I think a little bit of both.
Celtics either win this series or the Celtics lose this series. We're just better.
That's a great...
Hold up. Wait a minute.
It was loud in that building, games 1 and 2. What are you expecting from your crowd tomorrow?
Oh, they're going to be loud. I honestly didn't think it was that loud. And, there's a bunch of rumors about, how Boston's going to be so loud, so nasty, and I thought it was going to be worse. So just knowing that, it just makes you just want to go out there and perform in front of your own crowd.
Who's going to win it? The Celtics. Because there's no other reason why. The Celtics are the balls.
Welcome to the Probably Wrong podcast. Tony, Mike, Dave, Sports Talk. I don't even want to say gone wrong because we've been right a lot lately.
Yeah, Adam, anyone who follows the show, hold on, but we do say some. I don't want to say wrong. Let's say incorrect.
Yeah, but I would say we're over 50% lately. That's better than the people on TV.
You're right. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, the Probably Right podcast.
It's just not as catchy.
No.
I feel like I have way too many people.
One of the things I want to get into to begin is just to get the record straight, because 2 shows ago, I was talking about Meadowbrook, where I had that delicious burger.
Okay, I remember this.
So, some of our followers went down there. They said
can you shout them out?
They enjoyed Tony Martin. Enjoyed the burger,
our guy.
But he was like, "Hey, where are all these burgers that you were talking about?" Unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that I coincidentally, that might not be the right word, but I went there on Monday night, which is Burger Night and half-price burgers. They have a special menu on Burger Night Mondays. So the regular week, the burger menu, I guess, is smaller. Not so big, but Monday, Burger Night.
Sounds like you gave him the probably wrong info.
Nailed it.
Tony Martin fell for it. So Monday nights is their burger night, and there's a plethora of burgers, and it's cheaper.
Yes, 100%. So it's a win-win all around.
All right.
And last week, do you remember my chicken sandwich countdown? I went on and on and on and on about chicken sandwiches.
Did you get that wrong too?
No, just people were coming back at me and talking about the original chicken sandwich at Burger King. Now listen, because I didn't put it in my top 5 does not mean that I dislike it. The original chicken sandwich is the sub one.
Yeah.
That one's the better one. Their regular chicken sandwich is the one you were talking about last week. That's like a thick, filet thigh on it. It's not as good. But that original sub chicken sandwich is good.
I'm not a Burger King fan, so the chicken sandwich doesn't do it for me.
No, Whopper Jr., yes. Chicken sandwich? No. Not for this guy.
I not to get too much off topic, but a Burger King double cheeseburger by far is my that flame grilled patty. Delicious. Was that good?
No,
because you can really hear the
I read the label passion fruit, and I'm like, I'll give this a shot. I'm a little disappointed.
Your breath smells awful with that.
Yeah,
just like it's got like a real.
Yeah, it smells terrible. It doesn't taste good.
You can see the disappointment in face.
Yeah.
I do one energy drink a week, and it's this crap. That's unfortunate.
Yep. So let's get right in. Let's get right into our.
We have something important to talk about.
Oh yeah, our Celtics, buddy.
Oh, that's right. We're in the finals, right?
Play tonight in a few hours. I hope this is recording tonight because I don't know. All of a sudden, I have a right error. It's 4 weeks in a row now, guys. 4 weeks in a row. Something has gone wrong with this show. So we'll see if the podcast actually gets up. But it looks like the Facebook Live feed's much better tonight now that we are actually connected to Wi-Fi. And our YouTube feed is continuing strong.
Mike's food reviews are not to be trusted.
Tony, mine. You already told me you enjoyed the burger, so relax. Pipe down. And the YouTube feed, again, thank you to our producer behind the scenes, Trevor McMasters. Gets it up every week.
He's a beast.
Yep.
He's a beast of a human.
Now let's get into the Celtics.
All right. Can I start?
Of course you can. Roll.
A few weeks ago, and I'm not trying to take a victory lap here. We are now the Probably Right podcast. But we talked about how this is going to be the first team in a while, and I mentioned I believe it was the 2004 Detroit Pistons, where it was just like a real team effort. Ever since then, it's like it's LeBron's team, it's Steph Curry's team, it's COVID over here, it's Shaq and Kobe's team, and I feel like this Celtics team, and I think we're seeing a product of it right now. Game 1, you would have to go Jaylen Brown and Porzingis as like the two like stars of the game. Game 2, Drew Holiday and probably Tatum. Joe Mazzulla stepping up as a coach, getting out of the way when he needs to, calling timeouts when he needs to. This is just a well-rounded team, and you can't look at it and say it's one guy's team.
No.
You know, Brad Stevens has done a hell of a job putting this roster together, because I think every year we could. I mean, you look at Dallas, that's Luka's team. You look at Minnesota, that's your boy's team. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. What's his name?
Anthony
Edwards. But you look at this team, and it's just a very, very solid basketball team.
Up until this playoff run, this was Tatum's team. And I think that, his struggles is letting Jaylen Brown and everybody else blossom. So now they're playing true team basketball. To the essence of the word, this is true team basketball, what we're seeing out there right now.
And he's taken a back seat to these other guys, but he's drawing guys away from areas to allow those other guys to do their thing. So that helps out. That's one of those things that people don't talk about because he's not the one making the plays.
Well, he's making the plays for other people. But yeah, that's what people aren't noticing, because it's starting to come up. And Jason Kidd didn't help this. I think he threw that comment out on purpose. How Jaylen Brown
start trouble.
It was a smart.
Yeah.
He tried.
Yeah.
And lesser teams, he would have divided them.
Right. And I think what we're seeing is Tatum getting double and triple teams, leaving Jaylen one-on-one, leaving Drew Holiday open near the basket. And I know he's struggling with his shot, but he's still demanding the double and triple team, which is opening up the game for everyone else.
And that's what I was bringing. I was talking to my wife about the game the other day as we're watching. I go, you can watch. I'm just going to take Drew Holiday, for example. He'll take in the corner key, right? Jason Tatum is probably at the top of the key. Those two defenders will look at Tatum, and just by them looking at Tatum, Holiday can go.
Right.
Just to see if Tatum was open, to see if which one of them. Several times, even Porzingis down low, if Tatum's circling around, the defense just naturally looks at him, and it's like the rest of the team know, like, they're going to look at Tatum, and we're going to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Derek White,
it's kind of like having Tyreek Hill, where you just draw a little bit of extra attention.
Yep.
You know?
And I think that's where Jaylen Brown's game is dramatically just taken the next level, as he sees that and is taking advantage of it now.
Yeah.
Taking advantage of that hesitation of the guys going, where's Tatum? And then he'll just drive right by you.
Jaylen seems to be a little bit more decisive in making his move this year.
Yes.
A lot of times last year he would hold the ball. And if that question does pop up in your head, is Jaylen better than Tatum? Let's rewind to last year where Tatum got hurt against Miami and Jaylen couldn't do a damn thing because now he was getting the double team.
Yeah.
Couldn't do a damn thing.
No, he's doing exactly what your number two guy is supposed to do.
You're Robin.
You're better than the other team's defense. You are 1A, 1B. 1A is getting double teamed with the best defenders. You take advantage and just score at will.
Right.
And that's what happened with like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green used to look good. Is Steph Curry would demand double and triple teams, and those guys would be wide open.
Yeah. Steph Curry would break down the defense, and then Klay Thompson's guy would fade off him a little bit, and then he gets a wide open shot. So,
can I play this Jason Tatum quote from the other night? If it'll allow me to let it play here.
It has a lot to do with that. You know, I've been here before and we didn't win. And it's just like, you know, we're so close to what we're trying to accomplish. Why would I let my ego or feel my need to score all the points get in the way of that? You know, there are going to be times where, you know, I need to score. And obviously I need to shoot better. Golly. But.
So. saying all of the like. This is what you want your star to do, to take the accountability.
He's not just saying it though. Like this is what he believes.
Yeah, and on the
he's not just making this stuff up for the
because in
people.
previous years he would say crap and we're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I agree with you, Dave.
And I can, from watching the first two games, the biggest thing that I've noticed with the different Celtics players is the defensive side. And Jaylen Brown picking Luka's pocket a couple times.
Who called that a few weeks ago?
I don't know.
Who called Jaylen Brown covering Luka?
Couldn't have been any of us here.
Jaylen Brown's not
there. It was me.
We're always
it
wrong.
was me.
I don't know. Drew Holiday's locking him up pretty damn
Yeah, I like Jalen's size on Luka though.
He's done a great job picking pockets and then the blocks. The first game he had 3 blocks.
Yeah.
And then that last game, him and Derek White had that critical block.
Right.
Dallas fans were crying that it was a foul, but I mean, it didn't get called, so it wasn't.
And realistically, Tatum's taking it to the hole, and he's missing these layups because they're giving him that same little nudge too. It's not like he's not getting whacked.
Yeah,
and it was driving me crazy the other day. Is just trying to understand where the calls are going to, because you look at, and this is where Jaylen Brown will elevate his game and where Jason Tatum struggles. When they drive in, Jaylen Brown is so strong that they slap him on the wrist. It really doesn't affect him. Where Jason Tatum is getting nailed. You watch that arm every time he goes for that layup. It is whacked down, and it throws his shot off. And he's just not strong enough to push through that.
I also think they attack different. Jaylen Brown attacks with like authority. Tatum often gets to but he's a little bit more finesse. Where I think that's the difference. Jaylen Brown's
playoff basketball. That's what you need, is someone like Jaylen Brown. What he's doing.
Yeah,
you need Tatum to do this or learn to do this.
Or he never will. Tatum's a different style.
Or maybe get a little bit stronger in the off season.
I mean, he gets stronger every offseason.
I know, and if he gets a little bit, maybe that doesn't impact him as much next year.
Maybe practice with people whacking at him as he's throwing
the
the ball
I'm
up.
sure he does. Tatum's a guy that really takes his off-season workouts and
but
very seriously.
This is what we've talked about many times, about the guys that step up for the playoffs in any sport. And Brown has brought his game to another level in this playoff for the Celtics. Tatum is just even keel. Like, he's still doing good things, but he's not.
I have to disagree with you 100%, because what you're looking at is the scoring. Oh, Jaylen Brown is what we just discussed, exposing the weak defender on him. Jason Tatum, we haven't seen this part of his game where he's dishing out 12-plus assists, where
it's
he's
not
playing
just
the defense.
The offensive numbers, though.
But he's understanding right now that, hey, my shot's off a little. I'm still going to shoot, but I'm not.
Oh, he still shot.
But I'm not going to force that shot.
Right.
Where in past he wouldn't know how to handle that double team.
Right.
But it's not just the offense that I'm talking about. It's like I just said. Jaylen Brown's got, in the first game, 3 blocks. They were huge blocks. He's picking pockets. He's stealing balls. You're not seeing that on the defensive end.
Did you forget I'm going to argue with you, because did you not see the fourth quarter the other night? Who guarded Luka?
No,
Tatum.
I was sleeping.
Who shut down Luka in that fourth quarter? Tatum. Tatum took the defensive and got on him, altered the shots, had a steal.
Was it that he was defending well, or was it that Luka just wasn't hitting his shots in the fourth?
No, he was defending well.
In the first half of that game, he was taking Tatum to the hole or doing his fadeaway shots.
In the first half of that game, Dave, Jaylen Brown was guarding him.
No. Go back and watch. He dropped a couple of long jump shots, fadeaways in Tatum's face.
Yep, he scored.
Pretty tough shots.
I think he scored 25 points on Jaylen Brown. I could be making that completely up just because I'm getting aggravated.
Yeah, I know. And I love the fact that I can start talking about Tatum like this, and you get upset.
It aggravates me.
I got him going during the game the other night.
Tatum does need to shoot better. He's in a shooting slump. He was 6 for 22 from the field. The good thing about his shots, though, is they do seem to fall within the offense. Like Mike said, in previous years, if he's struggling, he's going to go iso ball to score his points. He's not doing that. He did miss a lot of shots, but they did come within the flow of the offense. I hope for his sake that he has a regular Tatum game today, comes out, scores 30, just to sweep this under the rug.
Yeah, quiet people down.
And I don't think it... I don't think the Celtics need it for them to win, but I'd like to not have this be an issue where it's in Tatum's head, because he admitted that going into game one he was nervous.
Yeah.
And he looked like he might have started the game playing a little bit nervous, where other people didn't. So
I don't know. Kyrie looks pretty nervous.
Porzingis didn't.
Porzingis looked fantastic in game one.
So
Porzingis was full of painkillers.
Yeah.
That's fine. He was sinking the shots.
Yeah, he looked great. So, yeah, I just hope he has a great game 3, great game 4. Then
But this
that
is
way,
usually where he succeeds. Game 3, right? Game 3 is his game. Game 3, the past several series, has been his breakout every season. Every series.
when you talk about how role players don't play as well on the road, and we might be out Porzingis tonight, we're going to need Tatum to shoot better than 6 of 22 from the field. He's going to have to score 25, 30 points and facilitate like he did.
I'm taking him for a triple-double tonight, 35 plus. I'm taking him for a double-double, 35 plus, and I'm taking just a triple-double.
And that would be fantastic for him to do.
I would love it.
But I don't get that feel with him, like he's going to take the game over. He's going to, like, the first half of game 2, every time Luka took the ball up the court, I was like, he's going to sink whatever he throws up. And he was. He just fadeaways that most people aren't going to hit.
But Dave, here we are praising Luka for the same thing we destroyed Tatum about. 2 games in a row, Luka has gone off the first quarter, right? Had a great first half, and then both games has pretty much disappeared the second half.
Right.
And yet people are still praising him. But yet you're all over Tatum for it.
Yeah,
Tatum has been very quiet the first half and scored a majority of his points the second half. I just don't understand the narrative of that. Like, oh, Luka, he's a killer. Yeah, you know what? The guy's unguardable in the first and second quarter in this NBA Finals.
But he has no one stepping up.
Guy disappears.
Yeah, that team is terrible, and I think the Celtics are exposing them. And I think a big piece of that is they have guys that might not be able to stop Luka, but you don't have to bring a double team.
They aren't double teaming him really at all.
No, you don't have to, because whether it's Derek White, Drew, Tatum, Brown, they can all go man up on him, and then that way these other guys aren't catching alley-oops, they're not getting wide open threes, and you can see how ineffective they're just not great role players besides Kyrie.
And he's a huge thing is, Kyrie is not holding up his end of the bargain with Luka.
Right.
At all. Not even close.
Guy is unbelievably struggling right now.
Yeah.
Kyrie?
And
Yeah.
Whether the fans are in his head or it's just in his head to be in Boston, he looks horrendous.
I also think those two have carried the offensive workload all season long, and they're just fried.
And they have to for that
They have
team
to
win.
Yeah. Where we can have a game where Tatum scores 12 and still win.
So can we talk about those two guys, right? All playoff series long, it's been corner threes and alley-oops, right?
With Dallas?
With Dallas.
Yeah.
That's been the numbers are ridiculous. The amount of shots go that way.
Yeah.
Now we again all year have talked crap about Joe Mazzulla, yet he's the only coach that has figured out how to stop that.
I think a big piece is you have to have the guys that can go one-on-one with Luka.
Yeah.
Because if you have to double-team Luka, it's going to open somebody up.
Didn't we think that about Denver? And Denver couldn't do it.
Nah, well, Denver's more big than anything else. Jokic,
But coaching-wise, we were praising Malone. Is that his name, the coach there? We were praising him and his smarts and things like that, and then he wasn't able to come up with a game plan.
I just think they have the best player in basketball. I
But
don't think they have the guards that match up with them, though, because Jamal Murray's not a great athlete. We have great athletic guards. We're very strong there.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
arguing that fact. I'm arguing coaching fact. We have a coach that's able to figure out,
Right.
to able to go, we're going to let Luka go. We're going to stay home in the corner three.
Yeah.
We're going to camp out in the lane. We're going to be looking for what they're exposing all these teams with, with these give and go alley-oops.
Yeah.
And we got a guy, Mazzulla, that we've all sat here since he's been in the league, crapped on. That he's a complete idiot.
Well,
basically,
he has gotten a lot better, though. He has gotten a lot better.
And I feel so confident when I'm watching these games now in the first quarter going, the other night watching Dallas, watching Luka, both nights, and going, you know what? When we come out after half, Missoula's going to adjust.
Yeah.
And by the middle of the third quarter, we're going to shut these teams down.
Yeah.
And they've done it. They've done it series in and series out.
Right. It's funny. I don't know what Dallas can do outside of Luka and Kyrie scoring 80-something points to beat us.
Hope their shooters can shoot.
Not much.
It's not much, because if they're not getting open shots, because we don't have to double, like, what can they do?
But even when they are getting open shots, their third and fourth options are missing.
Right.
It's if Kyrie and Luka aren't hitting shots, they're screwed.
Yeah.
I noticed in the last game when Dallas got ahead, the Celtics were throwing up bombs and missing them. It was like Drew Holiday was just like, you know what, give me the ball.
Yeah, take it to the basket.
He made the smart play. Yeah, he takes it to the basket, and then he makes a smart pass, or he's laying it in for an easy layup. And he looked great the last game.
The Milwaukee Bucks are really kicking themselves.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
I mean, it seems like they made all the right moves, the Celtics, in the offseason, dumping Smart for Porzingis. As much as, Porzingis might be hurt all the time, but, I'll take that if he can give us wins in the playoffs.
Porzingis is hurt, right? Let's just say he's out for the rest of the finals. Can we sign a big free agent or trade for a big free agent that doesn't get hurt?
A big?
Are there any?
No, just starting back. Kyrie gets hurt. Hayward gets hurt.
Yeah.
Kemba gets hurt. Now Porzingis gets hurt. Any big free agent that we've signed or someone that we've traded for?
Drew Holiday.
Hurt. Yeah, dude, knock on wood.
Drew Holiday, Derek White. Derek White was a good trade too. Yeah. So I just getting, whether Porzingis plays or not, just getting Marcus Smart off this roster.
Oh, because he would have been hucking up them shots.
It allowed Tatum and Brown to be better this year, way better this year than they were last year.
Huh?
So that's.
And we get Brian Hunt and Jay Fields chiming in here saying they believe Stevens' handprint is really on this team right
100%.
Of course it is.
He's the MVP because
He's
not only
made
did
all
you
the
get
right moves.
Marcus Smart out of here, you re-signed Pritchard, and that's been very good this year. He's gotten better. You traded Rob Williams and Brogdon, and you brought in Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
And
I forgot to mention this last week, and when you just mentioned his name right here, I wanted to key in on it. Malcolm Brogdon, problem in the locker room. That's why they had to get rid of him.
Over here. Yeah.
Big problem in the locker room.
We saw we saw clippings of Joe Mazzulla talking to the team. Brogdon would be on his phone. He's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
So, he was probably an issue.
They called him the locker room lawyer. And that's why they wanted to ship him to the Clippers. And then after that fell through, they were searching. And Stevens was like, I got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
I guess he was a huge disruptor of the chemistry. So you got Marcus Smart and Brogdon, who you loved. And I shouldn't say just you. I
like that move. Yeah.
But just the breath of fresh air and Grant Williams gone.
Yeah.
I mean...
So if you look at it, Stevens did make all the right moves. And the scary part is we got some talent in the G League.
Yeah.
We got some young talent.
We got talent everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, right down the bench, I go, I hate to spend too much time on these guys like Jordan Walsh, who can play.
Davison,
who you love, who can play.
Yeah.
Slee Makamak.
That might be Sam Hauser next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another guy that can flat out shoot. This team's
Can
stacked.
we get some braces for Porzingis' legs that won't stop what he's doing, but prevent these weak injuries?
I mean,
he played 60-something games this year, which is a lot for him.
It is
but
a lot.
You're going to have to manage his minutes for the next 2 years.
But this what just happened to him was a freak injury, and he got. So it was the third.
It was at the foul line, right?
No, that was the second part of the injury. The first part of the injury is when he got bodied. It should have been a loose ball on the offensive rebound. You don't remember that?
I didn't. Did that happen first or second? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let's play the clip right here because it'll have it.
I felt something in my ankle. Kept playing, but I knew something happened, and that was it. Yeah, obviously, at first I was pretty fine, and then towards the end of the game, Joe took me out, and I wasn't moving as well anymore. So that's from my perspective, and that's it. The next day, we did the MRI and all this, and we saw what happened. So now it's, as the report says, it's day to day, and I expect myself to be able to play.
So it was the P.J. Washington when he got pushed out of the way, and then so that was the ankle there, and then when he was at the free throw line, when he kind of the play that you're referring to, when he kind of went in
twisted
awkwardly,
up a little bit, yeah.
That was the end of him.
But this is like a normal thing for him because he's so tall and lanky, and I mean the legs just go all over the place.
If you look, he actually wears braces on his ankles.
Well, he might need something that goes all the way up.
When you're that tall, I mean, you can look at a number of bigs that have had lower body injuries. Kevin Durant did. Greg Oden couldn't get past them. Yao Ming had to retire. Once they have Bill Walton had a foot injury, couldn't get over it.
He's had these injuries forever and just will not retire.
Yeah,
maybe a Forrest Gump braces.
Yeah.
So
he would have when he was chasing down that block the other day. You would have seen just like in Forrest Gump those
the
braces blinking off, and here comes
Yeah.
Porzingis running down. That would have been.
But I'll tell you what, he came into game one and he changed that game. That was a sloppy
he was
game.
unbelievable.
Jay Fields with the great player comp. He's the Chris Sale of the Celtics.
Yeah. Very, very comparable.
Nailed it on that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, he's been saving that one, I think.
Yeah,
Jay Fields.
good to use it. Good for him.
He actually hurt his ankle walking to the game before, but
Yeah.
oh god.
So, what do we think tonight?
I am thinking. I would like to see him get out there and just say, "Screw it! I'm going to blow it out for the ring." I think no matter what, one of these two games you're going to see him in Dallas. I think he's either going to go tonight and try to help get these guys up 3-0, or regardless, he's going to come out game 4 and play. He's going to play one of these two games.
He wants
in
to.
Dallas.
He's going to play them both because he knows that it doesn't matter. If he has to go for a surgery or something in the offseason, we don't need him in September, October, November. We just need him later in the season.
Mazzulla gave him the scapegoat already today. He took the decision out of his hands. He even came out and said it because he'll play through the injury.
Which he should. He should.
And the injury is going to be strictly on the team doctors.
Yep.
I think he even said it in the clip that I just played. It's the team doctors are going to let him play.
Yep.
Mazzulla did this, came out and said all the smart things about this. We don't want it to ruin his career, basically.
Right.
Where right now we're in a good spot and we can play without him.
And we can beat this team without him, too.
They should be able to. They should be able to tonight without Porzingis still hammer these guys.
Right.
I really, why should they be afraid of Daniel Gafford? Why should it Derek Lively?
Yeah.
They need Tatum to step up.
Yeah.
If Porzingis
would
isn't
be
there,
huge.
it'd be nice to see Tatum shoot around 45% from the field. And if he does that, everything's going to be fine.
Just get that ball and take it to the hole.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. Don't look for the pass. Just take it.
You can take
Stuff
these
it in
guys.
someone's face and just
He's he doesn't play with a lot of emotion, but you can tell, like, when he gets into a good streak, if he has a good first quarter, it's going to be game over, I feel like.
Yeah.
Tatum's just going to go off, and when he struggles, he kind of presses a little bit, and I feel like he's just a little bit off.
And that's what I liked about him this year in the playoffs, where he struggles a little bit. He's not pressing like he was in the past.
Yeah, and he's not going one-on-one ISO to make sure he gets his points.
No, and if he is going one-on-one ISO, it's to make the play, to make
Right.
the pass, to hook up his boy Drew.
Yeah.
Because he's getting
Huge
percentage
one
of his
good
passes.
example of that, he shot 22 shots last game.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it because it was in the flow of the offense. When he ball hogs, it feels like it when he takes 20 shots.
Yeah.
So that is a good sign.
And I love the three that he took and nailed in the fourth quarter the other
And
night.
then he was like, finally!
Yeah. So, but the emotion's there. I know everyone says he lacks emotion, but if you watch him, the emotion's there.
But it's a different fire, though.
Yeah.
Like, Jalen's like a little bit more fiery.
I just think he overall looks more intense.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
you think of Anthony Edwards, the fire that he plays with. You see different emotion from
But
different
it's funny
guys.
because the Anthony Edwards. Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting my players mixed up there. I was thinking, who's the center for the LA Lakers?
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
He's a bitch.
The passion.
Unibrow.
But he plays
Yeah.
with so much anger and passion.
Yeah.
But you look at him and go, "You're a joke."
Yeah, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He's not real.
No. Oh man. So should be. I mean,
Dallas is favored. I don't know
2
why.
points. 2
yeah,
points.
I don't know why, but
well, they're home.
yeah, still.
You know, their home record's been great, but again, Boston's road records, they've won.
We've said it the whole. This is a bad matchup for Dallas.
Yeah.
Like home, away, it don't matter. Like you only have 2 guards that don't want to play defense, and we have multiple guards that can guard your guys.
I'm sorry, this Celtics team buckles down. This is over in 4. That's why I
Should
said
be.
it should be a sweep. Worst case scenario, game 4.
Come home and win it would be ideal, but maybe
Get it
not.
Get it over with. You never
Get it
know,
over 4.
especially with this team that kind of falls apart every once in a while.
Yeah, that's what worries me too. They lose one, they go back
Yeah,
home,
yeah.
they get tight, and God forbid,
Yeah.
God
Oh.
forbid it's 3-2.
Yeah,
You can almost call this series over. They're like the Bruins.
yeah.
You know?
Man.
Get in the head. Really though, they are. You're not
mental
safe.
midgets inside.
You see a team like that
I
lose
just feel
too.
they have a different feel, though. I think
Hope so.
if they take the game tonight and then they end up losing Friday, I think they put it away on Sunday. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday night, and
So Brian, this is another thing. Thank you, Brian, for bringing this up. Cries too much. I haven't seen Tatum cry once in these finals. You know who I see cry? Offense, defense, on the bench. Luka. Luka was crying.
Well, this guy hates Luka.
Luka, I love Luka.
Lu-
I got his jersey right there. But Luka, and the funny part about it is because we have a thread and we were talking about it.
The 2 of them go at it.
And Luka was
Stay out of it.
was actually crying on the bench over his Gatorade. That wasn't. He cries so
Yeah,
much.
I'm pissed about this.
Oh
I don't
man,
blame him.
he whines.
I know you love to
every
say that he
play.
whines, and you try to say that Tatum doesn't, but there's a lot of times where when he does take it to the hole and they don't call the foul, he's putting his hands out, looking at the ref like
Who?
Tatum.
He really hasn't
He
done
does it. He does it
He
a
doesn't
lot.
have it done in my. Oh,
He doesn't.
he's
He doesn't
done it
get
a lot.
vocal, and he doesn't. Luka like really lets it be
I'm not-
known that he's whining.
I'm
but-
not defending Tatum on this fact. He told Tatum's done it a lot. But right now in the finals, where it means everything, I want you to tonight text me
He's
every time that he does
He's
it.
getting hacked. They're
He's not
calling
really
it.
calling it.
They're not calling it, and I get it. Like you want that foul call because in the regular season you're getting that, but this is the playoffs.
But he's not really bitching right now in the finals. He's just kind of shaking his
All right,
head.
well,
and going
watch
up the
for it
field.
tonight.
He shakes his head.
We
and
should have everybody should have a tally sheet.
You know?
How many times Luka
There you go.
bitches? How many times
And what I
Tatum
mean bitching
bitches?
is doing this. This is what Luka does.
Luka's just more excitable when he does it. That's all.
This guy hates Luka. This guy hates Tatum. Jesus.
I don't hate Tatum at all. I just think that it's hilarious to get him going about
And
it.
he does the little smile. I go, Luka.
Tatum
I
is-
told you, this series is going to make people hate Luka.
I still love Luka.
Tatum, in my opinion, Tatum's a top 3 player in the league.
Is he?
He is.
Is he?
He's
He
a
is.
great.
Who? Tatum?
Yeah. Great player.
Jokic.
The problem.
Hold on. Jokic. Above Tatum?
Yeah.
Embiid.
Nope.
Can't stay on the
Giannis.
Nope.
I'd go Giannis.
Giannis
too.
can't do it.
I
Giannis,
love Giannis.
Giannis
Giannis
has
cannot.
struggled
Giannis
to-
cannot do anything without a team around him. Like he can't do anything. He's shut down consistent. I like Giannis. I like all these players. But let's get the
Giannis,
record
yeah.
straight here. Giannis is not the player that he was a few years ago, where he would just take the ball and you couldn't stop him. Teams have figured out how to stop him, and his game has suffered. That Milwaukee Bucks team pad stats for him so much. So let's not. Giannis is not. If you're building a team, I want Tatum. Sorry.
I would rather have Tatum to build a team for the future. Giannis did score 50 points and grab 20 rebounds in a closeout game to win the title just 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But since he's won the title, he's had injuries.
A lot of injuries.
He's completely fallen off.
Luka. Do you have Luka ahead of Tatum?
No.
Yes.
I do too.
Nope.
Luka's the top. Offensively, he's the top player in the league. He's
And,
top scorer in the
It's
league.
great. Guy, great. Scored 27 points in the first and second quarter. Awesome.
But he doesn't have a team around him.
Oh, well, so what? I don't want to hear it. You can't give. You
He
can't.
doesn't
You
have a
can't
team
put
around him.
You can't call a guy the second, third best guy in the league and be like, well, he doesn't have a team around him.
Sure you can.
No, get out of here.
He just did.
LeBron was the top player in the league for years, and how many championships did he lose?
Yeah, but he had a team around him. What are you talking about?
The years he lost, he had a
He
team
had
around
a team
him.
around him ever since that he left Cleveland the first couple of years. He's had a team around him. Everywhere he went, he's picked his players around him. He's got a team around him.
And he
Team
lost.
around him
Luka doesn't have a
sucks.
team and loses.
Luka finally got Kyrie to get out of the first round.
Luka was out of the first round last year.
No, I went back and looked at the stats. They had Kyrie. They took Kyrie. They had Kyrie.
Oh, they had Kyrie last year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, he got out of the first round last
With
year.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
He had needed Kyrie.
Hey, having Kyrie isn't like
But
you're
I'm just
automatically out of the first round. Kyrie could be,
You're talking Luka. He's
Luka's
a great
great.
player, but
Great.
He
he's
is a
not
great player.
like you're like, oh, you put Luka on the Celtics. The Celtics would not be as good because
They'd be better.
No,
they'd be
he
better.
needs the ball. He wouldn't be passing it around.
Yeah, but you know what? Tatum right now has the ball, and we're
And he's
praising,
passing it around.
I know. We're praising Tatum for having 12 assists. Luka with his team. Oh, the passes that he makes.
And that's one of the things that you look at Tatum better than Luka is Tatum understands that it's team first, and Luka doesn't have that. He doesn't have that option.
He's always had a decent enough team around him. I sent you the stuff the other day. He's always had one or two guys behind him and a bunch of role players.
And Tatum's had a good team around him. And how many championships does he have?
He's gotten farther than anybody else.
How many championships does he have?
Yeah, but look how far he's gotten.
That wasn't the question. It
All
was
right,
how many
tonight's the night.
championships?
Tatum versus Luka.
How many champions does Luka have? How many champions does Embiid
Zero.
have?
Right.
You know?
Embiid, I want
Giannis
nothing to
got
do with
his,
Embiid.
but he had Middleton, had to have Drew Holiday, had to have that huge cast around him that's now around Tatum. Well, no, he had a huge cast around
but Tatum
him.
has a better cast. He's got Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
he's got Porzingis. He's got Jaylen Brown. We're going to compare Middleton
He doesn't have
to
Porzingis.
Derek White, Porzingis. Chris Middleton is better than Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White.
You were all over Middleton before. Now,
I love Middleton.
You were last year in the playoffs putting Middleton
I love
way
Middleton.
up here on a pedestal.
But now he's better than Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, and Derek White?
Not this year, obviously, because he got hurt.
But Tatum's team this year is a very, very good team. It's a very good team.
Let's get to Bob
And
Rock's
you know
comments here. Do you guys feel that the Mavs waited after giving the Celtics everything? Wilted after giving the Celtics everything they had in the first quarter Sunday night?
Yes.
Or was it more about the Celtics settling down and locking down defensively?
I think a little bit of both.
Celtics either win this series or the Celtics lose this series. We're just better.
That's a great...
Like, it's kind of like the presidential, which we shouldn't really go, but you're either voting for Trump or you're voting against Trump. Biden really has nothing to do with it. It's the same thing.
Dallas wilted because Luka stopped scoring, but the Celtics also settled down Brown's defense.
So this is all about the Celtics and what the Celtics choose to do. I didn't catch that last part. I'll probably see it in a reel.
We're arguing here. It's like Justin's back on the show.
Yeah. At least we're not talking about a fantasy baseball team.
To answer your comment, Bob, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
But I do think the Celtics went buckled down defensively. Missoula adjusted after that halftime. They came out and they were all over these guys. They were
and Luka,
like we talked about.
Luka got tired because, like Field said, he's a heavier
guy.
He's
out of shape.
If you're the top number 2 player in the league, you shouldn't be tired like that.
Like Jokic compared to Tatum, I would take Tatum over Jokic because Jokic is another guy that's a little out of shape and maybe fades.
Hey, won the title last year, Dave.
I know.
Easy road. Hold on. So everyone was all over the Celtics this year about their path. The Denver Nuggets last year had a smooth sailing of injuries right to the finals.
I said that a couple of weeks ago. Like Denver was.
I don't ever remember you talking basketball like that.
This is a few weeks ago, but I said Denver. A lot of people said their championship wasn't a real championship because they had a soft path to the finals, and it's like, you know what, you can't pick.
Right. No, you just win the games that you play.
I agree. No matter what, it's the championship. But I'm just saying, if we're gonna,
a title's a title.
Jokic had a little tougher road this year and wilted.
Well, maybe he's just out of shape this playoff run. Tatum's in shape though. Still, he's still making plays.
I mean, I want my top 3 best players in the league to be in shape. You know,
you would hope
to not wilt in the second half.
I mean, Tatum stays healthy. You don't see him missing games. He's been solid as far as that goes.
Right.
And yeah, if I was building a team, I would take him as one. If I maybe not at the first pick, but if I'm, if it's a fantasy thing and I'm at number 3 and he's there, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
So that's I make comments about Tatum because I like getting him fired up. It's fun sometimes because he used to do it to me all
several
the
times tonight.
I know I have to
Several
keep bringing
times.
it up.
So game 3, Celtics win tonight, right?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
They should.
I think it's going to be like a 15 to 20 point win.
I think Dallas comes out hot early, and you just withstand it, stay in the game, and then you pull away at the end.
Yeah.
I'm staying with game 3, Tatum. This is his night.
Hope so. Especially if Porzingis doesn't play. I'd like for him to get that off his back, because he's feeling it. Because he's making comments about how he was nervous for game 1, how he's not shooting well. I just don't want him to even have to think about that going into game 4. So have a good game tonight. It's off your plate, and then go crush him game 4.
All right, and then hopefully when we're sitting down here next Wednesday, we're
We have a
talking about a championship.
Yeah.
A parade that I won't be going to.
Yeah, me neither. What the hell with
So
that?
now I know we just spent 36 minutes on the Celtics.
Love it.
But there's another topic tonight that we need to get to and address.
Okay.
That's very important, even though the team sucks. John Henry, in his idiotic comments the other night,
Yep.
that was just, how could a man be hated even more? Sorry, that's stupid how I just said that. But you're a man who right now is incredibly hated with what he's done to this franchise. And then you come out and double down on your villainous moves.
Yeah, you could care less.
And basically could care less.
Yeah.
And just come out and say these things. So he came out and said, this team is nothing more than an asset. All right? That's on the heels of him saying that him and his wife live in Boston. You know, their first whatever is about the city and this and that, but the Red Sox are just an asset.
Well, I'll quote it. I think he said, we're not in the business of selling assets.
Yes,
And
exactly.
we talked probably about 8 weeks ago how the Red Sox were initially purchased, and since they purchased the Red Sox, they were able to get a soccer team, an NHL hockey team, an F1 racing car or whatever. They're using the Red Sox as a place to pull equity out of to buy other assets.
So, Robert Kraft, love him or hate him, the Patriots are his baby.
He's a Patriots fan.
They are an asset, but the Patriots
Yes.
are the baby.
He cares.
Wick Grossbeck,
Cares.
I think he would be offended if you said the Celtics were just his asset.
No, he cares. They both care. I don't love Robert Kraft, but he cares about the Patriots.
Jeremy Jacobs, smart man, would never say those words, because you know why? He just doesn't speak.
Stays out of it. He's not very well liked in the city. But.
So, Henry said it's a 1-in-30 league chance to win the World Series. Again.
No.
How could... No.
No. When you spend money, you can put a
Realistically, for the Red
field.
Sox, it should be like a one out of 5, 1 out of 6. They're only the Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox. They have a much better chance than the Kansas City Royals and these other crap teams. So it's not 1 in
The
30.
Toronto Blue Jays aren't winning. The Milwaukee Brewers, I'm sorry, aren't winning.
Right,
the Arizona Diamondbacks, well, they had a chance, but
Colorado Rockies.
But they're not winning, though.
No, it's not 1 out of 30. You probably have about 8 teams every year that kind of have like a legit chance to
the
win.
Marlins, not winning.
Right.
You know, the Athletics, not winning.
Yes.
In the last few years, it's been him trying to dump large salaries.
Yeah.
Because he does not care if they win.
No.
It helps him if they win games, but he doesn't want to spend that huge money anymore.
And Bob Roxburgh here chimes in, the worst part of him being owner is there's no incentive to sell the Red Sox. Visiting fans will fill up the seats,
They did
and the
last
shared
night.
TV revenue is too good to give up.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. He's always right. Yeah. But last night there were
Bob's
a lot of
always
Philly.
right?
Yeah, that's why he can't be on the show. He's right too often. But last night you watched the game. There's Philly fans all over the place. The Fenway Park is a draw, and unfortunately they'll always attract people. And
that's like last year when I went to the Dodgers game. My daughter took me there, and it was all Dodgers. Yeah. And I'm sitting there talking with guys arguing. He was like, "No, there's Red Sox." I go, "All I see is
blue.
white and blue."
Yeah.
Go, show me where the Red Sox fans are.
Yeah.
You know, they may be under those Mookie Betts jerseys, but they're all wearing Dodgers gear tonight. So, and then one of my favorite is from Henry is talking about the fans, how we have unreal expectations for this club.
The expectations for the Boston Red Sox, they should be a playoff team 9 out of 10 years. You give them 1 year for injuries, but they should have enough talent that they should be in the playoffs 90% of the time.
I'm sorry, my expectations are this team is not going to lead the league in errors with 50 now.
Yeah, that's
My expectation is that for years we competed with the Yankees.
yeah, that's where we should be.
We went after the same free agents,
Yep.
whether it didn't matter which team got who, the trades, we were in on the big names. And now the Yankees are way up here, and the Red Sox are like, nah,
Right.
you can have all the best
And
players.
if he wants to talk about expectations, since 2000, we have the most championships. We have 4 championships. So that's where our expectations should be.
Every player that was a free agent, it was either going the Yankees or the Red Sox. And if either of those two teams didn't land that player, then it was a surprise to everybody.
Yeah.
And most of the time it was a guy that'd be like, I'm never playing for the Yankees. Like, it's
As much as people hated A-Rod, right? People around here hated him. We had a trade in place for him,
Right.
that the league nullified.
Yes.
And
Correct,
then the
Dave.
Yankees-
Yeah, that's great.
And then the Yankees turn around and go, we'll take him.
Yeah.
We'll pay him his full contract. Get him over
Love
here.
that you know that.
And to hear Bob chiming in again. So, Bob, I disagree with you here because Bob says it could be worse. The crowds at the Athletics playing like 100 people. I wish that was happening here.
That's what
That's
should
what needs
happen.
to happen.
That's what needs to happen.
Because that would force them to make moves.
Yeah.
People need. That's the only way people can show their displeasure with their home team is to not go and not buy anything Red Sox.
Yeah.
I think the difference with the Oakland Athletics is nobody cares.
Nobody
They're
does
losing that team and they're gone. But yeah, we would if we played in front of 5,000 people. Ownership would have to do something because they're losing money at that point. But the ownership doesn't care if it's Phillies fans, if it's Dodgers fans. As long as it's people there, they don't really care.
I feel like Oakland's owner knows when he goes to Vegas, he can start paying some of these big name guys to come here, and they'll put a winning team.
A little bit
on there.
more of a draw.
Oakland's owner has had plenty of chance to pay people.
Yeah, but now he's going to be in a city with he's going to be
A city
making
with
a ton of money.
there's no real fans, and he can hide.
Well,
He can hide by
that's what
selling
the Raiders are doing
selling cool merch.
Yeah, and you know
But
what?
the owner of the Raiders, what's his name? Son. Why is his name
Davis?
Davis? Son truly cares about that team.
Yeah,
Truly wants to spend money.
but
gets the guys.
Vegas is a place that you say they're not true fans, but they're trying to build towards it. The Vegas Golden Knights, at first it was just kind of like a sideshow, but they've been winning, and their following is growing, and it's going to happen with baseball out
I
there.
knew you'd find a way to get hockey into the show.
Yeah, well, that's the hockey minute
That's my
for you.
thing,
Yeah.
I mean, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the finals, have been kind of,
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I know.
I think Bob had another comment.
He misses the days of the half full Fenway with drunk blue collar fans making it sound like it's full.
Yeah, I could get a seat in the bleachers.
No matter
for
how
$10.
bad that team was, everybody was still behind it because they tried to get the players.
Right, and these owners need to realize baseball's taken a dip over the last 15, 20 years. Like, you got to do something. You got to bring in the Shohei Ohtanis. Like, get us to go.
Yeah.
So-
The Red Sox, I was huge when Pedro was here. I
Yep.
loved everything about the Red Sox then. He left. I started to fade with baseball.
Yeah, and that's right around the time baseball started fading.
Yeah.
So, and here we are.
Trying to get back into it, but I'm
tough.
like, who on the Red Sox can I really root for?
Right, there's
No,
no
it's
pitcher,
tough.
no starting pitcher you really want to see. Their best player is amazing, Rafael Devers, but I don't know. He doesn't have that flash that we like to see.
I gotta say, I was very surprised. So here we watch sports every night. Doesn't matter what's on. And I was very surprised the other day when my son, about to be 7 years old, knew who Rafi Devers was.
Yeah.
Only player he knew on that
Oh,
team.
good.
And I was like,
good.
all right, that's great.
Yeah.
So his name is still
Yeah.
in the elementary schools.
Right. Relevant, some sort, some.
So the last thing I want to say about the Red Sox tonight, before Dave gets his hockey minute, is they've played an uneven number of games.
All right.
So we are going.
So they
into
can't
this
be
week
500.
So they're
with
below 500.
one game under 500, 34 and 33
Hey,
this week.
Credit to this team though, because they have a bunch of scrubs playing.
That's what you say the same thing every week.
But like for them to hang out
We're
at around
trying for the players at least. Try to
Yeah,
be
like-
encouraging for them.
like ownership's an absolute disaster. They've lost They're starting shortstop. They're starting first baseman.
The first baseman's an idiot.
The first baseman's an idiot. I want to slap him upside the head. Every pitcher's getting hurt. And, they're hanging in there.
So is Cassius from Dallas? Is that why he's picking
So give the guys a backstory of why he knew
Tristan
Dallas.
Cassis was asked for his take on the
Breaking
Mavericks.
news, Kristaps Porzingis has officially been ruled out for tonight's game.
Okay, all right. I'm okay with that. He was asked about his take for the Celtics Mavericks series, and he went on and said, I think Dallas is going to sweep them. Celtics don't have anyone that can cover Luka and Kyrie, and they're going to be able to expose... first of all...
This is the future of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, it's probably not going to be
might not be after this, yeah.
You play for if you play for the Boston Red Sox, you support the other teams, and we see it. We love the fact that David Ortiz sits front row. Like, we like it when Patriot players go to games.
May.
Oh, yeah.
Drake May.
John Thornton used to always be at the games. I mean, it was
like
these guys.
I don't think Cassis gets it. It's different here. You need to support
like you guys
the
were
other
saying
teams
earlier. The St. Louis Cardinals are supporting Tatum because he's a St. Louis-born kid.
Right.
Every player on that St. Louis Cardinals team the other day had a Jason Tatum jersey on.
And Cassis had a Luka jersey on. Cassis and Dave.
And Tatum and Matthew Tkachuk were in school together.
Yep, and they were talking about it. They were shouting each other out this year. So we got into this last year because they were both. I mean, obviously the Celtics didn't make the finals, but they were talking about this last year. And this year, it's getting even more. These teams are always in it now.
Yeah.
And now they're really embracing it. Like they're going
cool.
back and
Imagine
forth.
that, having two guys in the same high school on the main stage. Like, that's crazy.
They have a picture of them sitting on the school bus together talking.
It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
To have one guy from your high school is like a big deal. To have two, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And to be playing at a high level at
Stars
their sports.
late in the playoffs. Oh, it's great.
I mean, Matthew Tkachuk is earning a reputation as a star playoff guy.
Like a Jimmy Butler.
Roll this right into your
I gotta go
Bruins
pee.
no Bruins.
Yeah. NHL
The hockey
minute.
minute.
Sorry.
Yeah. The Florida Panthers are 2 wins away from shutting the Oilers out.
It's funny. I am not confident that the Panthers are going to walk away with this series. I'm not saying not win the series, but I think the Oilers, I have some life in them.
The problem with the Oilers is very similar, maybe not quite, because they actually have offensive talent, but very similar to the Bruins with the minutes that their stars are playing. They are, McDavid, Draisaitl, those guys are playing so many minutes. Florida is a complete 4-line team. Edmonton is not. They're a 2-line team with 2 backup lines that hardly see the ice in the third period. And if they obviously haven't learned any lessons from watching the Bruins play the Florida or anyone else, because you can't beat Florida with just 2 lines. The Florida will beat the hell out of those top players, and they're doing it right now. How many points does McDavid have in the series? He got an assist on a lucky goal the other night.
He had 10 shots the other night, no points.
Bobrovsky's been amazing. That goal he gave up the other night shouldn't have been a goal.
Yeah.
That should have been 2 straight shutouts for him. He's just a wall right now.
And Dave, you called it when we were talking about the Oilers the other night. This team hasn't watched any game film because they are not going high.
No, every shot's down low. And
what are we talking? We have Tony here who doesn't really watch a lick of hockey. And how do you beat Bobrovsky?
You gotta go low.
No, opposites.
You gotta go glove hand high. Right? Is it glove hand high?
They made a comment about it during the broadcast the other night. They actually showed a little thing on the screen that where all the goals have gone in on Bobrovsky, and it was like 75% of them were up over his shoulder.
Right.
They said shoot at his head.
Yep. Yeah. And then wherever it goes.
Yeah. Aim for his head, and you'll probably score.
Bob Roxburgh's been watching the playoffs because he's disappointed in Edmonton not going high as well.
Yeah. And the fact that you have 2 of the most talented shooters in the game.
Connor McDavid,
and Leon
Mark
Draisaitl.
Messier. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's a few years back.
And these guys are still shooting at, they're trying to go low glove, just above the leg. And you're not going to get by him on that.
So you know what I found with this Edmonton Oilers team is they are falling victim to the Panthers in the same way that the Bruins did. Is they are trying to hit and be cheap, and they're losing. And they're losing their way. They're losing what got them there.
What Florida does, they're so good at it too, is they give the cheap shots, but they don't get caught doing it. And Edmonton is getting frustrated, and they're throwing cheap shots, and they're getting caught doing it. I mean, Fogle the other night, first period, halfway through, throws a leg check. Now, earlier in that period, Sam Bennett did one of those, but the Edmonton player didn't go down so hard. They called him for, I think they called him for roughing, and it's a 2-minute penalty. Fogle stuck his leg out. The Panthers player goes down. They have to help him off the ice. He gets a 5-minute major. He's thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
So Edmonton needs to be a little more composed.
How about Kane the other night? When him and I don't remember which Panthers player were both going to the bench at the same time,
Kachuk.
and it was Kachuk. He turned around and dropped Kachuk, and then just carried on to the bench.
Yeah, and there was another play earlier in the game. Bouchard,
we had him in the headlock.
He threw another cheap shot at Kachuk, and they're getting called for this stuff.
If anyone wants to see these plays, all of these things are in the Probably Wrong Podcast Instagram story.
Yeah, make sure you follow the Probably Wrong Podcast Instagram. Mike does a great job, like we said last week, with the stories. And I mean, it's Sports Center in like 3 minutes, right? You get all the highlights.
I try to put every highlight together so you can go in one place, and you don't have to fill up your news feed with all these different
Right.
things.
And if you have a busy day and you want to catch up on sports, it's all right there. Boom, 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 boom.
Though we lost a lot of followers, and I'm happy we lost these people because I jumped on a Doris page and was attacking. No, I wouldn't say attacking, but just mentioning that she's not a good broadcaster.
No, she's not. She's
terrible. It's amazing. I mean, we actually gained some people because of that, but a lot of people on this thread were just coming at me. I go, you guys don't even. Do you guys watch the game? She is the master at stating the obvious.
What they say,
it drives
that
me crazy.
you're a sexist or something?
No, they were trying to say that she was such a class act the way that she calls the game.
She sucks.
She tells you what you just saw.
Yeah, I could be a class act. Doesn't mean I'm good at a job.
She would probably be excellent as a radio announcer. I'll give her that because she tells you. But it's like when you're watching the game, I don't need my color commentary or even my play-by-play telling me exactly what I just saw and then having a biased opinion on what happens during the game. Yeah. Because her agenda is clear every game, whether she likes your team or hates your team.
I kind of like what Tony Romo does, where he tells you what's going to happen in the play right before it happens. I would prefer that.
Yeah.
Bob Roxburgh, on fire tonight, Bob. She was good 30 years ago when she didn't speak more than 10 seconds coming back from the commercial breaks. Yeah, 100%.
Sideline reporter.
Yep. It just drives me crazy.
She's annoying.
But yes, please.
Follow the page.
Follow the page.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah. You're killing it.
All right, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, USA Basketball. What are you doing?
Idiots.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
you know what this is? Because I was talking to my older brother. He's like, dude, I don't think it's a race thing. I think... Because he's like, I see this with the girls at work. Whenever there's a new girl, all the other girls, they hate her. And then after about 4 or 5 months, they kind of loosen up on the girl a little bit, and then she's okay. And then there's another new girl, and they all hate the new girl. He's like, it's just the way girls are. Yeah. They just hate each other. And I think these basketball players wanted to be the ones that elevated the game, and they couldn't do it for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. But it was Caitlin Clark that comes in, and whether they're better than her or not, it's irrelevant. She is getting people like me and Dave to watch. Mike will watch anyways. Me and Dave won't watch. But she's getting people like us to watch.
You want to know something funny the other night? Is Angel Reese finally got hers. One of the other women that she was playing,
yep.
they were going down low, and took her right out.
Oh, really? I didn't see it.
Yeah, took her out, and then as she got taken out twice within a minute. And then as she started to get back up and regain her composure, she went for a rebound, and the other girl just shot blocked her right down.
Right.
And everyone was cheering like, "Oh, where's your cheering now?"
Yeah. I wonder if that was like a veteran that said, you know what, this Caitlin Clark woman's gonna make us a lot of money. So you're pissing me off because you're taking food off my plate by battling Caitlin Clark. I wonder if that was like a veteran woman that said, hey, listen up, you little bitch. Knock it off.
Yep, and then Jay Fields brings it up too as the Suns fans the other night cheering for Caitlin Clark because they benched her in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were just getting beat so bad. And the opposing team, the Connecticut Sun, they have the Connecticut Sun Arena was just cheering. All you heard was Caitlin Clark.
That's pretty cool.
It was, yeah.
Dude, this is as big as like Hulk Hogan coming into the WWF in the early 80s. Like, this is Magic and Bird. Like, this woman is going to elevate this game, and it seems like they don't want her to.
You see what she's doing right now for the game. You see the amount of fans she's bringing. Do you think anybody is going to watch this WNBA USA team?
No. Not right now.
No, unless Caitlin Clark's playing.
Yeah, and what's frustrating for me is
I like how you're leaning closer to the mic now. You got a real point.
I'm
coming
working
in.
on it. Is all the people that are like, oh, she's not even the best rookie. Her numbers aren't even the best with all the rookies. It's not about her numbers.
But her numbers are the best.
Yeah,
rookie.
I know.
It's not even about
you're
her
right.
numbers.
Yeah.
It's about the effect she's bringing. The people that want to watch her play.
Yeah.
And for USA Basketball to say, well, we picked what we thought was the best team. It's not about the popularity. Yeah, you needed her help with women's basketball. Women's basketball needed Caitlin Clark to be on that USA team. And not only that, but if you replace one player on that roster with Caitlin Clark, are they that much worse?
No.
Right. So,
it's
what is your point?
Right. And for the people that don't follow this, WNBA teams usually play in stadiums that hold about 4,000 people. And I don't think they sell out all that often. They are moving Caitlin Clark to stadiums that hold 17, 18, 20,000 people. They are selling out those games in 30 minutes.
Yes.
The Connecticut Sun tried to move a game
to the Fleet Center?
To the Garden.
Okay.
The Fleet Center, it was too small. They wanted to go to the Garden.
Okay, yeah.
And it didn't work out because of the playoff run we're on now.
Right.
So they gave him a game later in the season with my girl Cameron Brink. But still, like, it never does that.
No.
Not that I, you know what? And even if they did, I wouldn't know because I never watched it.
Right. And they wouldn't have to because they can't fill an arena that holds 18,000 people. But Caitlin Clark can.
No.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. But yet they're keeping her down, you know?
Like, so in the preseason, granted it was still preseason, but it's going to hold some weight here because my buddy was down at Foxwoods, and he was like, what's going on here? Let me walk in here. It sounds like people are playing basketball. He could hear the ball bouncing. It was a preseason game.
Yeah.
There was like 6 people there.
I think that one was on TV because I was watching it with Kerry at my house, and there was like nobody there.
Yeah.
Nobody there.
Well,
the Connecticut Sun, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just egregious that they don't have her on that team, and now she's an alternate. So
some of these other WNBA teams should start looking into like the Connecticut Sun. Maybe we'll go play a game at Madison Square Garden when we play the Fever, just because the draw.
Well, I think the Connecticut Sun would play at the Boston Garden.
And I think
it would be a Garden.
That's the plan. Yes.
Yeah.
And
maybe you should listen to what he's saying because he just said that about a minute ago.
I missed that part.
You have the New York Liberty, which is a female
they do have a team
basketball
there.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I know all the WNBA teams.
Such a big fan.
Yeah.
But so I think what you will see though is you're going to see an injury, and let me put the quotation marks.
Yes.
An injury. And Caitlin Clark slide in.
Right.
Because they're taking a lot of flack from everywhere. There's nobody supporting their decision.
No.
Except for the girls playing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they
all hate her.
Yeah.
Because she's the new girl.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just jealousy. They've been trying to elevate the girls' game for a number of years. They haven't been able to do it. This is the girl that did it. And they don't want to elevate the girl. They don't want to elevate the game unless they could elevate the game.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to watch.
Yeah. sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
this is what you wanted. You complained that guys aren't watching us. Now they're watching, but you don't like why we're watching.
Right.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
You can't win.
So the funny little thing is the other day you sent a reel, and it was about the how the WNBA players wanted the more money.
Yes.
And that they wanted to get more of what they were worth.
Yes.
And when you broke down the math, they'd each owe $84,000
Yes.
a year.
The WNBA loses like $12 million a year.
Yeah.
And they're saying, we want to be paid the same percentages as the men. And the guy was saying, the problem is the WNBA loses money every year. The NBA makes a ton of money every year.
This could be the first year that
they actually make money.
They come close to, I'll say come
break
close
even.
to breaking even.
Yeah,
if you're losing $12 million,
yeah.
Caitlin Clark
is not bringing in $12 million.
Bringing in $12 million.
Right. I agree.
You need Paige Buckers next year.
Yeah. And you need a run of this
Yeah.
to continue.
And I'll give it to the WNBA. I think they're playing a little bit into your Batman and Joker here with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because that has a little carryover effect, because people like myself are checking in to see what Angel Reese is doing, because I want to see her fail.
Yeah.
Just because I shouldn't say that.
She's not very likable.
And then I see they're putting a little bit more press, putting the microphone more in front of my girl Cameron Brink's face, who's great with the media. And I think those three girls right now, along with Sabrina in New York, who's great with the media, and she plays basketball like a man.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
So those four women are really the only thing the fans show up to see.
Yeah.
You got these other girls I'm looking averaging 30 points a game, this and that. I go, who are
I don't
these
even know
women?
who these people are. Yeah.
And then you give them the microphone, and they're just like mean. You know what I mean?
The bitches. These women are bitches.
No, I'm not saying
can I say that on air?
They're just the way they talk. They're mean.
Yeah, they're just nasty. Oh.
Hey, Bob, you're absolutely right. Clark is getting them more flights, more exposure. I'm sorry, better flights.
Better flights.
And ultimately, they're going to turn them closer. So we'll see it. We'll see if they do a better job, like with the Paige Buckers and the girl. I forget her name. I want to say it's JoJo. That's unbelievable at USC. That's only a freshman. She's going to be the next wave. There are some women coming in that once, like myself, who's now started to watch. That's all it takes. Is then you get invested a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's how it was when we were kids in the NBA. There was that one player. For me, maybe for you, Michael Jordan.
Right.
That one player that really engaged me. It really brought me in. And then I fell in love with the New York Knicks and Patrick Ewing. But if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, me turning on to see him, I wouldn't have started to
watch the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was Adrian Dantley that spoke about when Bird and Magic came in. Like, they were all fired up because it's like, these guys are going to help us get paid.
Yeah.
Because Bird and Magic are coming in. So I don't think these girls realize that. Or if they do realize it, their egos are too big that they can't let it happen.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Idiots.
Yeah, idiots. Oh, man.
Yes, Bob. We were just talking about the battles Reese goes through in the paint. Yeah, that's where I started the reel. They beat her up.
Good. She should shut her mouth.
It's not going to happen.
She won't.
I don't want her to shut her mouth.
She won't.
Like, I like that villain aspect.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
That's
when
her
she
job.
speaks,
I go.
When she speaks, you may not like what she says. She may put her foot in her mouth, but she speaks well. She speaks better than us. I speak horribly. None of us speak well. You speak well, but when she gets that microphone, like, she's not ever stumbling her words. There's no, she's very good on the mic. She's very good at embracing that villain role. She's a great heel.
I don't think I want Caitlin Clark to have a villain right now. I just want to see her play, and I want to see her succeed. Give her a villain 3 years from now when she's one of the top players in the league.
But it grows. It's going to grow, and that back and forth.
It's going to grow, or it's going to turn people off, and then all of a sudden they're not going to watch Caitlin Clark.
What will turn people off is if Caitlin Clark, and I don't think she ever will, take the bait and start,
she hasn't yet.
Being vocal.
Yeah, she hasn't yet.
Yeah,
So
pretty good about that.
Yeah, she's solid.
She has to.
One last thing about Caitlin Clark is she had the Michael Jordan effect. Did you see that? She was the little reel I put up of her with little kids in a little charity thing.
You're assuming I watch your reels.
They were shooting on her, and she.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
And the little kid blocked it. She was like, "Oh, you make it hard." She goes, "Life's hard."
Yeah. So I think Caitlin Clark is very, very likable. I think she's very likable.
Yeah. All right. I want to get going to the Celtics, guys. I want to cut this short right now.
Yep.
I want to go get something to eat and go.
So it's 8:30 game time?
8:30 game time.
All right, no Porzingis.
No
Tatum.
Porzingis.
Tatum, let's score 35.
Tatum's night.
Yep.
Let's go.